This is Julian Smith with JNS Paralegal Services. Let's get down to business.
Missed our starter discounts to start your divorce? Then don't miss our pre-summer special to start your divorce. Once you've been married the minimum time 2 years and you have been separated 1 year or more, the marriage have broken down beyond repair, then start now. You get 10% off from now until June 15, 2025. What are you waiting on? Talk to us.
Our Jamaican people, home and abroad, always ask the question, why does divorces take so long? Well, if you listen to part 1 of our video on divorce time frames, you would have had a better idea of the different time frames for divorces. Now it is time to tell you how those time frames works. Our Jamaican people are always complaining about the divorce time frame, even the minimum time of 4 to 6 months. Why does a divorce have to take so long? Ever hear this saying? It is easier to get married than to get a divorce. That saying is true to some extent. The reason for this is because there are requirements throughout the procedure for a divorce that we have to follow precisely in order for you to get the minimum time frame for your divorce to be complete within 4 to 6 months. The requirements on a whole for the procedure is the reason why divorces can take long, because if those procedural requirements are not met, that means additional paperwork is involved in the process and it will take longer. It is important to note that the court is always changing the requirements for a divorce. So they're always upgrading the requirements. So what works today may not work tomorrow. So you cannot compare the time frames just like that. You have to bear in mind that the court upgrades their requirements as they deal with different situations and different circumstances for a divorce. So procedure matters to the court. Now, when you're considering your divorce time frame, you have to also consider the fact of whether or not you had outstanding documents to tender, whether or not you have changes like correction of error, informational request. All of those have to be taken into account when you're considering your divorce time frame. You have to also consider that there's a preparation process before your first document, which is the petition, is filed in the court. And for the remaining documents, there has to be cross checks to ensure that everything is consistent from beginning to end. And this requires time. And remember, whichever law office, whichever company that you're using, you are not the only client. So when you're doing these things, you need to take into account not only when you paid your money, but also if you have all your information ready, you have done all you need to do to make sure that you are ready for petition filing, and you have to also consider the time frame that the place that you have trusted for your divorce process will take to prepare your documents. My name is Julian Smith from JNS Paralegal Services. Join us next week for part 3.